A new Star Wars movie coming out? What? Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Alright, the very first trailer for the very first Star Wars anthology movie has come out, and that's a pretty interesting concept, isn't it? These Star Wars movies now are gonna come out where they're not part of the official Star Wars story. I mean, they are canon, but they're not part of the whole Skywalker episode blank, you know? They're side stories. They're just like, oh, by the way, this happened as well. Kinda like the Clone Wars, same kind of deal. And of course, this is the teaser trailer for Star Wars Rogue One. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a huge fan of the title Rogue One, a Star Wars story, so I'm probably gonna call it Star Wars Rogue One or Star Wars Anthology Rogue One. In any case, the trailer's out now, so let's talk about it. So this movie takes place actually before the events of the first Star Wars movie that came out back in '77. And it is the story of how these group of rebels from this hidden base actually captured the plans to the Death Star. This movie is the story of how they did it. And so our main character here is Felicity Jones. Again, Lucasfilm really picking up on the female main character thing. Felicity Jones plays a character named Jyn Erso. She's, you know, the spunky type. She's got that rebellious spark in her. That's why Mon Mothma's like, alright, come join our rebellion. We need people like you. First of all, seeing Mon Mothma again, that came out of nowhere for me. I was like, holy shit, it's her. I mean, no one cares about her. She was only in like, what, one scene in Return of the Jedi? She was just one of those whatever characters with a weird funny name. Mon Mothma. But apparently she's memorable enough for people to be like, oh my god, it's her. Then you see this other guy looking at her and I'm all like, Poe? Gotta admit, it looks an awful lot like Oscar Isaac in The Force Awakens. Turns out it's Diego Luna from Rock of Ages. Good to see him getting more work. So the rebellion is all like, alright Felicity Jones, we have a mission for you. This major attack is coming from the Empire. We need you to find out just what this thing is and what the plans are to it and find out a way, possibly, to destroy it. You see a Star Destroyer and it looks so cool because it's all modern and shit. I mean, yeah, we saw the new one in The Force Awakens and we've seen, you know, the old one crashed in the sand. But to see an old-fashioned 1977 Star Destroyer in space doing its thing. Oh, but that's not all we get to see. The shot goes on from there because a shadow goes up and then you see this huge, it's the Death Star. It's the Death Star and then this weapon is being put onto it because it's still in construction. That's the thing in the trailer that made me go, holy shit, when I was watching it for the first time. Just all these things from the original Star Wars trilogy now being put into modern movies now. Like the old-fashioned Imperial Stormtroopers. This is like some Star Wars Battlefront shit. It's really cool. And then of course we have the usual quick action shots that all trailers tend to have. And during these action shots we hear that Star Wars alarm sound, that woo! 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 Yeah, that. We get to see some stuff like some dark side guy. I'm pretty sure that's Mads, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Hannibal. I'm looking forward to seeing him in this movie because that actor is always creepy. We get to see a samurai kicking the shit out of stormtroopers. I'm like, I don't know, it's Star Wars, anything could happen, I guess. And we get to see AT-ATs. For those of you who don't know, I love AT-ATs. Just something about their massive size and their shape, you almost forget there are people in that thing. The thing is, these AT-ATs do look a little different than they did in Empire Strikes Back, which, okay, maybe they're still not at that design yet, but I really hope this movie doesn't retcon it up like the prequels did. I have my faith in this movie, though. Even though the director of this movie, Gareth Edwards, directed that really bad Godzilla movie that came out a couple years ago, I still haven't really forgiven him for that, but I got my faith in this movie. And then the last thing you see is Jyn. She turns around, she's in this rebellion outfit. I'm like, Katniss. I don't know, whenever I see a woman in a uniform like that that's all black and armor and shit, I guess I'm always just gonna see the Mockingjay. That's not always a bad thing. Felicity Jones definitely looks like a badass here. She looks like she is part of the Rebel Alliance and she's gonna get this mission done. This movie looks really good. This is just a teaser trailer. We're not gonna see much, we're not gonna know that much. We do know what the movie is about, which is more than we could say for The Force Awakens last year. Needless to say, it's Star Wars, so I'm looking forward to it. Who knows, this could be one of the best movies ever made, period. You never know. So, the Star Wars Rogue One teaser trailer with a lot of cool shit. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.